What's going on, guys? Ryan with Jedha Patrol back with another video. Today, we're going to take a look at the Hot Toys Avatar figures for $400 freaking a piece. Let's roll. That's right, guys. We're back. Another figure preview video. I got some photos of the new Avatar figures. There's two of them, including the giant dragon banshee things. And I got them from Secret Base. So thanks to Pop Collectibles, they went out and got these photos for me. If you want to pre-order them, there's a link down below if you want to check them out. Let's get into this thing. I have thoughts on Avatar figures. Now, my first thought is they're pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm glad that they're doing like a non-Star Wars, non-Marvel figure and they're doing something else. So Hot Toys, thumbs up for getting out there. Obviously, they're trying to capitalize on the huge, like the culture situation with Avatar and it just sweeping the world and everybody's enamored by like the visuals and everything like that, which is cool. It made a lot of money in the theaters. So obviously that's a good opportunity to make some money for Hot Toys. They went ahead and decided to make some figures. Now they had some advanced notice because these are actually previewed pretty well in time with the film release, which is not always the case. It's not always the case. We're still waiting on that Hawkeye from the Disney series that came out a year ago, and we still haven't seen it. So there's that. But let's get into the photos of this thing. I have quite a few highly detailed photos. We're going to start off with Jake, then we'll move over to Neytiri, and these photos are fantastic. I want to look at the detail on these things. It is quite crazy. So here we go. We got Jake here, and I want to kind of pay close attention to the head sculpt because I think the head sculpt and the paint applications on this thing are really, really good. I think there are definitely some flaws with the figure, but the paint application I don't think is one of them, especially this being a prototype, right? So we do have the nice sculpt here, and I think the sculpt is on point with this one. I think it's fine. The hair not being rooted, which is good because I think that might be a thing. Tucker, you got a squeaky toy over there? But yeah, I dig this. The detail on here, and most of the detail on this figure, just in both figures generally, is the head sculpt and then the accoutrement, the accessories, the add-ons, because they're naked blue people. That's what they are. So there's not a whole lot going on. They have the Darth Maul Clone Wars effect here, where they've got like a hard plastic body that they've sculpted and painted on, which is fine, but it comes with some disadvantages. For example, this single joint elbow. Look at this thing. Hideous. Sorry, zoom in here. Hideous. I'm not talking about the visual of it. I'm talking about the fact that this is a 18-inch tall figure. 18 inches tall, almost 18 inches tall, that has single joints. Now, I'm not sure what the solution to that would be. And here's the other one you can see on the other arm. But the posability of these is going to be very awkward. It's going to be very awkward. I mean, that's awkward. It just is. It doesn't look natural. And for a $400 figure, it's not a statue. If it was a statue, it would look better, I think, because if you wanted to worry about joints. But for a $400 figure, I expect a little bit more than, hey, it's got a good head sculpt and it's from a popular film. Like, I expect more to that. The knee down here on the bottom, we'll get some other photos of this thing, but the knees are kind of crazy with single joints as well. So, I mean, maybe it needs to be that way for stability, or maybe it needs to be that way for aesthetics. I'm not sure, or both, whatever it was. But that's where it's at. And I kind of expect, at this point in 2023, and for a $400 price tag, to see some innovation on Hot Toys' side. And I'm not seeing the innovation other than it is a new body. Well, it might be a reused body from the previous version, but it's a newer body. It's almost 18 inches tall. It's a tall figure. And I'm just not seeing the innovation here. And that's my problem with this. Now, because if they have it displayed on this, I believe they're called Banshees. I could be completely wrong. I might be drawing a blank on that one. It looks pretty cool. Now, I won't disagree. It looks awesome. Are they going to make these? Who the hell knows? It looks, I mean, if the figure is 18 inches tall, how big is this flipping thing? Although it does look pretty, it does look pretty cool. But here's our head sculpt on Jake. I mean, it's quite good, right? It's quite good. But Is it $400 good? I mean, only you can decide that. I don't know the answer. But I do appreciate the detail on the tailoring, but it's not like groundbreaking. It's not, I don't know. And not every figure is going to be that way. But for this one, when you have obvious limitations, you got shoulder joints, we haven't got to the pelvis on this thing, the hip joints that are ungodly. It leaves something to be desired, right? It probably will look good on the shelf. We've got all these nice little details. Is all this stuff to scale? That's the question to be determined a little later, I guess. But here's your single joint elbow. It doesn't look bad visually. It just hinders the range of motion. And here we go with the neck. Like, it's got a really long neck, which I get it, part of the film, no big deal there. You got a neck, a fixed neck, which means there's no range of motion in that neck. So you got a ball joint on the head, so range of motion is going to be limited due to the hair. It's just, I almost think that for the money, you should just better off getting a statue. That's kind of what I'm thinking at this point. If you're really an Avatar fan, you might be better off getting a statue. Is this figure going to be stable and standing up over time with the weight being on top of those wrist or the feet pegs? I don't know. But I do like the way it looks on this flipping animal. It looks amazing. It is going to take up a lot of space, no doubt, if they actually produce that thing. But who knows? Diorama base is pretty cool. Nice paint applications. No complaints about that at all. I do have a complaint. It doesn't have the sand footprints that we see in Star Wars. It doesn't have that. It doesn't have that. But other than that, Neytiri over here, I think it's a little less awesome. The head sculpt, I think, is not as good as Jake's. I think it's good. I don't think it's as good as Jake's. But it still looks pretty good. It really does. I like the hair. I like the paint applications. I like I think the paint's perfect. The color of the eyes are perfect. It's good looking. I have no really big issues with the sculpt. I think it's probably like 8 out of 10, which is acceptable. I don't have any issues with that. And again, another blue naked tall figure. Now, there is one issue I do have in this photo, and that is the bow. It is grossly underscaled. I mean, that bow, when she was holding it, had it right side up. It was a little taller than her, or pretty close to as tall as her. This thing is miniature, and it's just underscaled. And I'm hoping they fix that, because that is a total fail on that respect. When it's something that's important to the character, they missed it completely. It's almost like Thor with Stormbreaker, the first Thor from Infinity War, Stormbreaker, and then we finally got it right on the Endgame Thor. But yeah, she looks fantastic, again, with the single joints. And hers are going to be a little, I don't know, she's skinnier, but she does look good. And again, $380 for either one of these, that's a tough pill to swallow. I think you got to be a really, really big Avatar fan in order to spend, because you're not going to get one and not the other, right? You're not going to do that. So you're looking at $1,000. So you got $400 plus tax, plus shipping. You're looking at $1,000 for 2 figures. And, that's fine. I don't have too much problem with that. If you want to collect the set and you really like the film, I'm not sure if it's for me, but we'll see when the time comes when they're actually released. Deluxe version, it gets a couple extra things. You get a diorama base that you don't get in the regular version. And, I don't know. It's kind of... I would definitely get the deluxe anyway, just to get the diorama base, because I think it adds to the character, because I don't think we're going to get the flipping flying dragons. I don't see that happening. I hope so, because I think it would be pretty cool as a display piece. But at the same time, if Hot Toys made them, I feel like people would not buy them, because they would be very expensive to purchase and then very expensive to ship. And we all know how that goes sometimes with collectors. We want awesome things, but then we don't want to pay for them. And that might be the case here. There's that bow. It just doesn't look on point, right? It just doesn't. Now, Neytiri looks fantastic. Jake looks fantastic. What innovations could Hot Toys have done to make these even better? A seamless body probably would have been a problem. unless they created something new. It would have to be steel framed, right? It had to be like Hellboy. They went out and created a whole new body for Hellboy. They could have done it here. There's an opportunity here. I'm not an engineer. I'm not that. But I feel like there is opportunity here to do something amazing. And while they delivered something good, it's not amazing. For a film like Avatar, I think it should be amazing. That's my thoughts. If you want to pre-order these, check out Pop Collectibles in the link below. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. We got all kinds of posing videos and stuff coming up on the channel very soon. Unboxings and top 10 of 2022. That video is coming, I promise. I'm just doing some debate, internal debate. As always, click what you like.